Over the last 4 months, the Ortega regime has carried out a shameless campaign to eliminate the political opposition and consolidate a one-party dictatorship in Nicaragua. Should also begin preparing a number of severe diplomatic consequences, assuming Nicaragua's election in November become a coronation for Ortega. Nicaragua should be suspended under the International Democratic Charter on November 8th, and its participation under the Central American Free Trade Agreement should be reconsidered.
I'm deeply saddened and appalled by the repression that is taking place in Nicaragua. There is no question that the Ortega regime has turned Nicaragua into a tyrannical police state. Stories of mistreatment and acts of torture have become far too common in Ortega's Nicaragua.
Felix is a human rights defender, academic, and candidate for president of Nicaragua. For 105 days, he has been a political prisoner of the regime of Daniel Ortega, simply for speaking out against the human rights violation of the regime. For 84 days, Felix and Juan Sebastián were disappeared. They were held in an enclosed location without any access to their families, their lawyers, or their doctors. For 84 days, we didn't even know if their or the other disappeared people were alive. We know that some have been subject to psychological torture. Many have lost substantial weight. Felix and Juan Sebastián have each lost 25 pounds in just 3 months. And we worry especially for the women who have been detained, as we have heard that they have been held in solitary confinement for 3 months. But while I'm here, there are more than 140 families suffering the same pain of having a loved one detained or disappear. All Nicaraguan people live in fear from this regime that has shown it will do anything to silence opposition and stay in power. And thousands continue to suffer and die from the regime's neglected and mismanagement of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Nicaragua is at the edge of a precipice with no return. We are only 6 weeks away from the likely consolidation of a ruthless, corrupt, dynastic dictatorship in the heart of the Americas. It will occur despite the multiple resolutions approved by the United Nations Human Rights Council and the General Assembly and Permanent Council of the OES. Beyond the suffering of the Nicaraguan people, and we just have this testimony, this dismal situation will have a destabilizing impact for the rest of the Central America and the entire hemisphere.
November's elections, far from an exercise in democracy, are instead a bitter reaffirmation of the Ortega-Murillo family's plan to consolidate a dynastic dictatorship to replace the one that they overthrew. Ortega and his collaborators have set the stage for a coronation ceremony. As well as November 7th, I think we need to declare Nicaragua's elections illegitimate under current conditions. The U.S. should be entirely clear about the illegitimacy of these elections